I noticed a lot of updates, like on. What are you doing?
My face was, I was having something in my.
But we live.
It don't matter.
You could do that in a mirror on the side or something.
No, because I'm doing it now. Because my face was.
You all lying? Yes.
So who's the one that when she stopped?
If you would have saw what she was doing.
When you stop and talk, when you stop and don't say nothing, it's you the one that's the donkey. Why are you doing that?
What do you mean donkey?
Because I'm sitting here going like this.
What do you mean donkey?
Because you acting like a donkey, just being quiet, looking at me, not paying attention to you. So you the one wasting the minutes on the show.
But why'd you use the word donkey?
Because we always say we're donkeys sometimes. We're calling ourselves donkey like I did that one time. I was donkey of the day. So we can't act like donkeys. Sitting there looking at me going like this.
My brain will explode if I
can make faces. I've rubbed my nose. I've gotten up with cramps in my stomach. Really? You think this broadcasting this is like, ooh, we're so
will we ever elevate the show?
This is us. We are us. We're being mama rolled by one day and she'll pull the table with her. I mean, something crazy can happen. That's how we are. I like that. I don't like everything programmed. 1, 2, 3. And now, welcome to the Woods Report.
But let's start over again and like it is programmed. All right, now it's on.
Okay.
All right. Welcome to another Woods Report. A lot of stuff going on today. A lot of things that we talked about before.
Follow-ups.
A lot of follow-up stuff. I noticed. A lot of follow-up. The black people got kidnapped in Mexico.
Yeah, we need to hear about that.
They was on Anderson Cooper.
We all had our own stories.
They was on Anderson Cooper. They gave an update. Crazy stuff that happened.
I'm surprised Anderson Cooper show.
Well, it was his show.
Okay.
And then update on the Cash App guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Update on the docs that were leaked at the Pentagon.
Oh.
And who they found out who did it.
What do you mean docs that were leaked?
Documents. We talked about it on the previous show.
Not the president's taking them home.
No. Okay. The documents that I guess she was in another world. We talked about it on the air, so I guess.
No, I didn't know that there were that didn't connect with the president. Or
No. This was stuff that was saying that it was intelligence that was leaked. Oh. And that was very important. Okay. And they was trying to figure out where it came from. Oh. I told you when they want to find out where something came from, they find it out.
It's easy.
Yeah.
They make it seem hard.
No, when the government wants something, they find out.
Big Brother watching, or they may already know and not want to say something.
Yeah. And then Jamie Foxx was hospitalized.
Was that today?
Yes. Jamie Foxx. Okay. And so it's a lot of stuff that's going on.
That's not a follow-up, but okay.
No, that's not a follow-up.
Wow.
But the other stuff is a follow-up.
Okay.
So your people from what is it? The View, they still on
they're on spring break.
They still on spring break.
Mama was calling me today. Oh, I think the View are they're still off, aren't they? I said, Ma, usually when they're off a whole week.
Because that's usually where you get your stories from. You
My
look
politics,
at the View.
yeah, mainly politics.
Scooby Doo says hello, everyone.
Hey, Scooby Doo.
Hello.
See, why you keep doing that?
I can't stand her. Hey, Scooby Doo.
Okay.
Just say hi, Scooby Doo.
Hey, that's how I say hi. I don't like being programmed. No, you got to say it this way. Oh, you went too high. That was too high pitch. Make sure it's lower. We talked about yesterday the tone of the devil and why the devil has to be.
Everything's so dramatic.
And God is, like thunder.
All right, here we go.
I'm just
dramatic. So Jamie Foxx is hospitalized after medical complication. Source tells CNN. Oscar-winning actor Jamie Foxx is hospitalized in Georgia and under observation. A source with knowledge of the situation tells CNN. His daughter, Corinne, you know his daughter, the one that does the commercials and stuff, shared on Instagram Wednesday night that her father had experienced a medical complication, adding that he is on his way to recovery. She did not specify what happened medically. The source with knowledge of the event said Foxx was not transported by an emergency vehicle. and it did not take place while on set of the Netflix film Back in Action, which Jamie is currently filming. CNN has reached out to representatives for Foxx for comment. The exact nature of Foxx's medical scare has not been disclosed. Alan Neerab, a spokesman from Jamie Foxx, declined to share anything beyond Corinne Foxx's Instagram post. Nothing more at this time that was posted, he told CNN by email Wednesday. The movie Back in Action, which includes Jamie Foxx, has recently been filming in Georgia. So people guessing.
They're keeping his health under wraps, I see.
Well, what the medical complication is.
I'm surprised.
But people guessing. Because usually when there's a medical complication and you rush to the hospital, most people think it's either a heart attack or like a stroke because it's a medical complication. You can't breathe. Maybe something
like
is obstructing or something. Maybe something. So it could be anything. Whatever it was an emergency enough for him to have to go to the hospital. Oh, wow. So she's telling everybody, his daughter's telling everybody to pray.
How long can they keep something like that under wraps?
You know what? They probably waiting for him to say it. Since he's not in a coma or anything.
Because you know, the thing is,
you can't disclose people's medical,
because of the HIPAA law.
Yeah, he got to be the one to say it.
But we've heard news people did it before.
CNN know what's going on, but they can't say nothing.
Why is it that there's been stories in the past where things leaked out in the TMZ and other news media? They'll say so and so had a stroke
because they allowed to say it. People tell them that they can say it, but you can't say it if they don't give you permission to say it. Like you said, the HIPAA laws and stuff. Sure? But people speculating what they think it is. Okay. People can speculate all day. We can say what we think it is.
And not say what the truth is.
Wendy says they are saying it's a stroke. So that's what I'm saying. Okay. So
how old is Jamie? He's not as old as me.
Jamie is not. I knew he was going to ask that question. I don't know why I didn't have it already.
Wendy, how old is Jamie Foxx?
Knew you was going to ask how old
Ask
Jamie.
our audience. Ask our people, Kim. You can't get all huffy about that anymore.
I just knew you was going to ask.
But it doesn't
55.
matter. Yes, I knew he was somewhere near your age.
Yeah. He is my age. But he's 55.
You guys listening in, y'all could Google and tell us.
Yeah, he's 55.
Okay.
So he's my age. Exactly my age.
Yeah.
So,
it was just surprising that.
I'm hoping it wasn't a stroke.
It's just surprising that, I don't know if that HIPAA law could protect people, but like you're saying, maybe they're guessing when people are hurt or injured, what's going on with them.
Well, Wendy says Jamie is very private. He is a friend of my girlfriend. Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm hoping that if it is a stroke, Wendy, that I'm hoping that it didn't mess up anything. Because a lot of times people have strokes and then they can't talk. I mean, they can't speak or they can't. One part of their body might be messed up or something. So let's keep Jamie Foxx in prayer. He is very private, like Wendy said. So he may never tell, what happened.
He may not have to. People still may find out.
But that goes to tell you, remember, I don't know if y'all watch our show all the time. I always talk about stroke and heart attack and stuff and blood clots and all these things. And it don't matter what age you are. But as you get older, we start seeing these things happen. And Jamie seems
breaking down.
Jamie seems like he's in good shape. So and our friend had a heart attack. My best friend, she had a heart attack.
Right. And
she's in excellent shape.
Eats good.
Exercises and everything.
Not overweight.
And had a heart attack.
See, it doesn't matter.
But we're not helping though by the way we eat.
It makes it worse. It makes our numbers even
at least give yourself
higher percentage wise.
Give yourself a fight.
It just shows you though that no matter how well you take care of your body, how good you exercise, how good you eat, sometimes things can be hereditary.
Yeah.
You just have to be ready regardless.
Yeah. And then make sure that you go to the doctor and get things checked out. Charlamagne the guy was talking on the Breakfast Club that he went and got everything done. He got his heart checked and all that. But even still,
things get on.
But it don't hurt.
What is it? Pancreatic?
Yeah, he found out.
It's hard to detect that.
He found out that he had high cholesterol. Oh, and he never thought he would have high cholesterol. So
he didn't know that.
So you don't know.
Okay.
Wendy says, "Hello, ladies. Hey, Wendy. Me too. It depends. Stop cheating and eat right. That's right. You're right." And also, there's natural things we can take too that cleans our cholesterol.
We're hearing like ginger root. We're getting wiser.
Lemon,
things like that. That's from the earth.
Yeah, yep. A lot of stuff. Lemon water is good. I've been doing apple cider vinegar.
You feel a difference?
They said it take about 3 months. So
what?
I've been doing it like a month now.
Why does it take so long
to get in your system? But you all right, Ma?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we over here talking about health and she over there coughing up alone.
I know one of the things our old pastor told us is picking up a habit. Habits usually
take 30 days.
He said 21, I thought.
Oh, it don't matter.
But if it's a certain days that when things become a habit and you're not getting used to the regime of it. Okay. All
right. So everybody pray for Jamie Foxx. And make sure that we looking and making sure we taking care of what we need to take care of. I already told you, God already told me I need to walk, and I haven't listened. So, and then a lot of times the Holy Spirit tell you something and you don't listen. And then when we get all sick and stuff, or leave earth ahead of time, we mad at God. And He's like, I told you what to do.
That's what we had mentioned earlier. Remember, as far as being led by the Holy Spirit. Right. Our friend, she called me because Kim's private. Kim's like, I don't want everybody coming to me saying, "Thus says the Lord."
I don't want anybody coming to me.
Because if God is not telling me that, why would He confirm it with you?
Yeah, nobody. I don't like prophets and all that. Don't come to me.
He's a wise God. He's going to speak to us in all kinds of ways. We're not listening, but He's going to still be speaking to us. And then that person confirms it. Out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every rhema should be established. My friend came to me and said, "Lenora, I had a dream. God showed me that Kim needs to walk." And she said, "But I don't know if I should tell her." I said, "You tell her if the Holy Spirit told you that."
Tell her.
And she told Kim. Kim said, "He's been telling me that too."
You confirm, yes.
You confirm I need to walk.
But don't just come up to me and say,
"The Lord, thus said the Lord."
God told me to tell you to walk. Because I'll be like, get out of my face. You can look at me and say I need to walk. That ain't no prophet.
I can tell y'all now.
God says you need to get on the treadmill.
We had a cousin. I don't know how many guys said, "God told me that you're going to be my wife."
Oh, yeah. Everybody
and she's
kept
like,
telling
okay.
Every dude, God told him. How many guys is it in the world? Because there's a lot of guys telling her.
It's so funny because the guy who God actually told, he didn't tell her.
Right.
He told us, me. Yeah. He said, "That's going to be my wife."
Yeah.
And we met him on our college campus on freshman year.
Yeah.
They married now for over how many years? 30 years?
More than that.
Yeah. He said, "God showed me that's my wife," but he never told her that. They didn't like each other at the beginning. But how many men said, "Thus said the Lord"? God said, "You're going to be my wife."
And we still blowing our nose and stuff. We still getting over
that.
We still getting over this.
I'm emptied out more than I was yesterday.
Okay, so Wendy says maybe 20 years or less you want to be well. I agree.
Yeah.
All right, so FBI arrest, Ma, this is what you was talking about. The FBI arrested 21-year-old Air National Guardsman suspected of leaking classified documents. Can you believe this? Now, this is the story you didn't remember what was going on, so let me refresh your memory. Jack Texa, whatever his name is, a 21-year-old member of the Massachusetts Air National Guard, was arrested by federal authorities on Thursday in connection with their investigation into classified documents that were leaked on the internet. FBI agents took this dude into custody earlier Thursday afternoon without incident. Attorney General Garland announced in brief remarks that the Department of Justice, which has been conducting a criminal investigation in the matter. Today, the Justice Department arrested Jack Douglas in connection with an investigation into alleged unauthorized removal and retention and transmission of classified national defense information about this guy. He's an employee of the United States Air Force National Guard. Why is he doing that?
Did they say why? Did they get that?
He will have an initial appearance at the U.S. District Court for the District of Massachusetts, who added that the investigation is ongoing. He declined to take questions from the press. They arrested him at his home in Massachusetts, and the residence is more than an hour away from the military base where he worked. Ma, did they say why he did it, or we don't know yet?
He worked there. he just got information that he gave out to people.
But they didn't say why he did it.
No.
A Facebook post in July from 102nd Intelligence Wing, which is the headquartered at that base, congratulated an individual with the same name as this dude on a promotion to Airman First Class. U.S. officials have been searching for the source of the leak, which exposed potential hundreds of pages of intelligence about Russian efforts in Ukraine and spying on our U.S. allies. Now, my mother came and said, "Oh, poor guy, he looks." Didn't you say the way they made him look? Oh, poor.
Well, he's 21.
He looks so innocent. He looked
21.
They always do that. If he was anybody else, if he was any other race, any other color, they would never put him out as this poor, innocent 21-year-old. This guy is a criminal.
I'm trying.
He's a traitor to the country.
Treason. Is that treason?
And whatever the penalty for traitor, which is death, which they're not going to do, he needs to get that done.
I'm trying to. They're going to have to really sit down with the investigation. Did he come into the military with all that in his head to do? Or did he wake up one day?
Right. Or somebody got to him.
You know what? I'm just saying, this is something you just, as a military of the, well then too, yeah, I can't say that because the pilots that had the 9/11 was part of the pilots that.
Right.
You know, they didn't know they was going to be terrorists.
Right.
But anybody, I guess, can be a terrorist like that because that's considered what? Treason, terrorist?
Well, it says the Pentagon is leading an interrogation effort here to review whatever national security implications might come out of all this, and said that the Department of Justice is leading an investigation into the leaks. And then that's the other thing. Why is it so easy for a 21-year-old snotty-nosed brat to leak documents? How does he have access to documents like this?
And that just really makes me nervous because
I told you our country's ridiculous.
Whatever's going on in his head at that time, the fact that he had access to that information and to follow up with leaking it, what does that say about our systems?
Thank you.
Because there's things like in my old job, I couldn't go into our IT group. They had areas blocked where we could even go to as employees. Even in our advertising group, we had to get special permission to go to the social media sites because we're advertising.
Right. So how is he able
to get a hold of information classified?
Thank you.
And go beep. Here, everybody.
And he's 21 years old.
Here it is.
He's not even anybody. He's a guardsman.
Did he hack the system?
He's not even a general or anything. Right. He's a nobody. So how is he able to get to documents that could that are classified like that?
Thank you. And even press any buttons to move the documents or let it be seen.
If I was in the military, I'll be horrified by this.
Yeah.
If I was somebody in another country and I was a spy for America,
you'll laugh.
I'd be horrified.
You'd be laughing.
You got Comb Over got files in his house that got my name in it.
Hence.
Apparently. And now you got this 21-year-old leaking documents.
Pence got files at home. Biden has files at home. There's discussions and stuff going on with Ukraine. It's just so much where you got to sit there and go, our own military guy.
Yeah.
Wow. I would expect when this story came out, I was expecting like a Russian spy, a person that's undercover.
No.
They join our military.
No, this idiot, 21-year-old.
Things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
21-year-old.
Wow. Okay.
National Guard.
Wow. Okay.
Leaking. And now you have all of our allies because apparently some of the documents shows we spy on our allies. So like you got Canada or somebody going, so you spying on me and I'm your ally?
Yeah, I'm wondering if they knew that already.
Well, they should know.
It's
They're
like
not
confirmation.
Stupid. But they spying on us.
Thank you for confirming that.
Thank you. Everybody knows. Everybody's spying on each other.
He probably won't die.
They're not going to do nothing to him. Like they didn't do anything to the guys,
He'll
people
be in prison for
the
life.
people who went and walked around January 6th to take pictures of the Capitol.
They were guests in the Capitol building.
They were guests.
On a tour.
They were on a tour. They wasn't everywhere our eyes saw. Mm-hmm. It's what they spun the story on Fox.
Tucker Carlson helped with that one.
And did you see that big dummy? Did he interview Trump? Did you see that?
No.
He interviewed Trump recently. Did you see that, Ma?
I saw that.
First of all,
Trump ever say anything about you not liking me?
Thank you. First of all, no, but he embarrassed him. First of all, he can't stand the man.
Okay.
We
all found that out
in his personal tweets.
Leak, not tweets.
Text messages. So now he has to kiss the ring because he's been found out.
Okay.
So he puts Orange Nixon across from him, and then they're talking. And he's all in awe of everything. He has to be in awe of everything this man says. So whenever he says, he can't say anything negative or push back or that whole purpose for Trump to sit across from him was to embarrass him. And that's what he did.
To embarrass Tucker?
Was to embarrass Tucker.
Okay.
And that's what he did.
Okay. What
because he would say something like, Trump would say something like, we went to such and such. You were there, Tucker, weren't you? In other words, all that little stuff you said about me on the text, you went against what you must have said when you was with me when we was there.
Okay.
You was there, right?
Made him look bad.
That's like me saying to you, Lenore, remember we went to Tennessee last month, and we shared a hotel, and we had a great conversation. Yeah, you had a great conversation then, right? Yeah. It was great then. So that's kind of what Trump was doing. Like all of a sudden, you hate me. But you was all up under me when we went to such and such.
I'm surprised that he even let him back on the show.
He has to because nobody's watching him because the Trumpsters hate him now.
Oh, really?
So he has to be kind to...
So he's losing his numbers.
Well, he ain't losing his numbers because I think Tucker has some on everybody. Remember we talked about that. But I think he has to kiss the ring now.
Oh, so, okay.
That's what's going on.
Oh, my gosh.
Wendy says they should hire him. He's a nerd. So probably talking about that guy,
that young 21-year-old. Yeah. I don't know if they're gonna hire him because did he hack into the system?
I don't know, but he needs to be.
Why does he have access?
Once he's put under the firing squad, then they can bring him back to life and hire him.
Right,
because that's treason, and I believe treason is supposed to be punishable by death.
If
it's still the same.
The guy that Catch Me If You Can. I think I mentioned this in some shows
you said
before.
That. Discover Card.
The government. He came to our company and talked about his past with the old Catch Me If You Can movie.
Old company.
My old company that I used to work for. And they said now the government has given him what is it when you're giving them a chance to not, a plea, kind of like a plea thing where work for us because we know you can do it.
Right.
We know you can
either work for us or go to jail.
Exactly. And then he talked about that's what he was doing at that time, working for the government.
Well, every movie has that.
They figure if you got some wise guy hacking into systems and stuff, and you catch him,
right?
Your other option is you work with us then.
Wendy says that has happened before, but I don't know his circumstances. That's true. Well, they do that all the time. You just said it with that guy, Catch Me If You Can.
Okay.
Well, we were supposed to get to this story yesterday, but we didn't. None of us deserved it. The Americans who survived the kidnapping in Mexico share details of their captivity. Remember those 4 black people that got hijacked and
2 of them was kidnapped.
Yeah. Well, we find out now they talking. The 2 that are alive, that lived. The girl and supposedly they remember they were supposed to go there for her some kind of
a surgery.
Yeah. Cosmetic surgery or something. But everybody was side-eyeing that like,
so what's the real truth?
But we don't know whether it's really they was going there for that or going there for some other stuff. They gave their story. They went on Anderson Cooper and they gave their story about what happened from the time. More than a month after 4 Americans were attacked and kidnapped by a drug cartel in Mexico, the 2 survivors say they're still recovering from the trauma of terrifying ordeal and the killings of their friends. They didn't deserve that. None of us deserved it, but we're alive. We have a lot of recovering to do. That's what Latavia Washington McGee told CNN's Anderson Cooper in an exclusive interview on Tuesday. So basically they said they was in the car. And apparently they had gotten lost or whatever. And they decided to kind of drive and go in an area where there's people or something. Because they didn't want to be like driving down alleys and stuff like that. So apparently they got to that area. It don't matter because you saw where they were. People was all around. It didn't matter. They kidnapped them in front of everybody.
Yep.
And they saw a car like trying to get them to pull over or whatever. And so they kept going, they was trying to like keep going or whatever. So finally, I guess the car made them pull over, and then they got out the car. One of the two guys, the ones that got shot, they tried to run. They tried to jump out the car and run, and they gunned them down.
Why would they run?
Because they was trying to get away.
But get away from what? They didn't know what was after them.
They probably knew they probably saw the guns or whatever, like pull over.
I wouldn't run.
I don't know. Well, we can't run, so we wouldn't have ran anyway. So we just be sitting there like, whatever.
What's up?
So then the girl and the other guy, the ones that didn't get shot, obviously they didn't run. They was in the car. So then they pulled them out, and then
got shot in the leg.
No, yeah.
From being in the car.
Because they shot at the car.
Yeah.
The guy got shot in the leg, and then he said they was trying to help stitch it. They stitched it up. They didn't give him no kind of nothing. Mama's bacon is messing me up. It was burnt, right? Did you burn your bacon?
No.
Oh. Don't you feel like something's burnt?
Fine.
Okay. So anyway, they tried to stitch his leg up. They didn't give him anything to numb it or anything.
Wow, okay.
So then they took them to a couple of places, different places, and they had people that was watching them, with their guns and stuff. This is the cartel.
Okay.
And they kept asking them questions because remember they thought they was somebody else.
Right.
And they kept answering them or whatever. So she said they tried to make her and the other dude have sex. They wanted them to have sex with each other. And she said, I can't. And then they said they tried to make her. And she said, that's my brother. And she said they didn't care. And then she said, I'm pregnant. So I guess they didn't push that issue after that. Okay. What was that? You know what I think that was about? I think they was going to film it. And then that was going to be like a black market porn thing,
Why out of the blue?
Yeah.
Why would you have the two people have sex?
Thank you. So anyway,
that's the same lie that Abraham told. He said Sarah was his sister.
Oh, about having the thing.
I think he thought that they were going to be attacking her or something. Okay. We never know what that lie was for.
Oh, okay. Well, so that's the thing. She said, that's my brother, whatever.
And I'm pregnant.
And so Anderson asked them, did you know that you were? Did they know that it was on all the airways? And she said, yeah, they showed them. That's why they probably didn't kill him, because they saw that it was everywhere. So this is the time where the media actually helped somebody. Okay. By plastering them everywhere. That made them go, oh shoot, they looking for them. We can't just get rid of them, because that's gonna send all kind of FBI agents and everything here. Exactly. And we don't want that. We don't want that
spotlight over here.
And she said one of the guys, the one that was running, one got shot. He died immediately. The other one, he died. He lived for a while, and he was suffering. And she said she just kept telling him she was sorry. And she said he was able to talk to her, and he said he was okay. He said, I love y'all. And
were they family at all?
I don't know, Ma. Were they family or friends? I don't know. But I think they were all friends. No more. So then he told her he loved her and tell everybody he loved her. And she said he loved us, and then he was gone. Williams and Washington McGee told CNN Brown and Woodward were both still alive when their limp bodies were dragged into the truck bed. They both were still alive. Yeah. The four were then driven to another spot where they were interrogated. And then she said that's when Shareed said, I love y'all, and I'm gone. And then he died right there. And then Woodard lay dying in the back of the pickup truck. I told him I was sorry. That's what she said. Mm-hmm. He said he loved us, and he was gone. It was the last thing he said. That's what Williams said. So that's sad.
But it was mainly her mission, her plan.
If we go by what they saying, they was going there with her to get this medical cosmetic. Procedure. Yeah. If we go by,
isn't that something how a person's? I don't know if it was a medical thing that she had to have done or not, or is it just to make her look nicer or smaller or whatever it is? The vainness of it took 2 lives.
Well, she said he was like, it's okay. I'm your brother. I'm supposed to be there for you. I love you. That's what Washington told McGee.
Because I would feel bad if I was to go to another country
Mm-hmm.
for some cosmetic surgery, and I bring 3 of my friends with me,
And something happened
and
to
2
them.
of them because of my
Thank you.
going there.
Thank
you know,
you.
and it's dangerous as it is, because when you're going into anywhere in Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, even being a Mexican
Yep.
is still dangerous.
Well, I told you when we went, our friend that she's Mexican, she didn't want to
She
go.
didn't want to go. See?
And they said that people, I was looking on TMZ, they said that you would think this would make people not want to go to Mexico.
It hasn't stopped them.
More people going more, and they want to go to those spots that they tell you, the government tells you not to go to as a dare. They going and they taking selfies and pictures as a dare because the government tells you not to go there. Now you want to go there.
But see,
you see how people think?
Would that get our government, would that make our government, like to say for sake of argument, somebody else goes there to do the dare thing and then they get kidnapped too?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like those people who climb mountains and stuff, and then when they get stuck,
our team
we have to go in and get
them.
you. And then they end up risking their life.
Thank you.
To get you for climbing Mount Everest.
A mountain, because you want to break some kind of a record.
So at one point, someone showed her the video of their kidnapping. She saw herself being forced into the back of the truck. She said, I just started crying. I'm like, I'm never going home. She probably thought she was going to get killed too. Washington, McGee, and Williams were woken up in a dark room to see a man standing over them with a light. He was like, there's nothing that we can do to bring your 2 brothers back, but we're sorry. Somebody made the wrong call. They was high and drunk. That's what they told them.
Oh. So if they would have been in their right minds, they probably would have still been alive. But they shouldn't have ran.
Well, that don't mean they still could have shot him.
But I'm just saying, when our brothers learn that even in our country, don't run.
At one point, Washington, McGee, and Williams were blindfolded and taken to a truck. Williams said his friends' bodies were then placed on top of him to keep him hidden. The Americans were driven around all night as they heard the sound of guns being cocked, Washington, McGee said. They had police scanners and all types of stuff in their trucks. They knew what was going on. They were always a step ahead. So I was like, they're never going to find us like this. But eventually they were dropped off at a wooden shack where Washington, McGee, and Williams were rescued on March 7th. The survivors and the bodies of their friends were brought back to the U.S.
Mom, what would you remember? We were talking about when a lot of our black men, with all that's going on in our police departments and how they treat them, why would they get out of the vehicle and run?
I know.
And you would think that's like an automatic for a lot of people, is to get out of the vehicle and run.
Right.
We don't need to do that in our country. We don't need to do that in any country.
Right.
Because even though you're innocent, it looks like you're guilty when you run away. Because you're running from what you're fearful of. I get it. Because
Right.
I've never had a weapon to my head to even say what I would do, but I would be too scared to run. I'll probably pee on myself and just sit there and shake. But why do our people run?
Anybody run, not our people.
Well, most of the time it's like
It's
when the
people.
police officers are after them, they feel like maybe
Right.
they can outrun them.
But it's
is
anybody.
That what it is?
White people run too. People run from the cops.
But the point I'm making is that it's not about black and white.
No, you just said our people.
I said our people know you have a bigger percentage of that person shooting you in the back. Don't run.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Wendy says, did you watch Anderson interview Kim? Nope.
You didn't?
I saw bits of it. I saw like clips of it, but I didn't sit and watch the whole interview.
Mom, did you watch it?
No.
Yes,
I
did. I did watch Anderson. Mom watched it.
Wasn't that something how they wanted him to sleep with his sister? Yeah. And then he died, the other guy. He said, I love you, I'm gone, then he died. I think they were cousins. It was not her fault, but she probably thinks it was.
Yeah. Because of why they
I went
over
to Rosada Beach in Mexico. Some parts of it like a third world country. Other parts were lovely, whimsical. Yeah, some parts of Mexico are beautiful, and then some parts, like that's like DR, Dominican Republic. Some parts are beautiful, and then some parts it's like a third world country. Wendy says Tyree had to run, or they would have beat him to death. And then she said, I sent a clip. Okay.
But we don't know that.
Okay.
We don't know that they would have.
I didn't watch the thing.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know that because they could have made them all do sex with each other. But the fact that you run it gives them a bigger reason to take. And
then also too, they probably would have killed him anyway, so it don't matter.
Well, die that way then.
Right.
I don't want to die with a gun in my back. Right. A bullet in my back.
Only thing I'm thinking of is if he what is it? If he they wasn't out of the car yet, and he thought he had a time to run. That's the only thing I can think of. Right. It's like they was pulling up to him, and he thinking, "While you pulling up to me, let me run and try to get out of there." Yeah. So, all right. So Arnold Schwarzenegger, I saw this today too. Oh, she said I sent a clip. Arnold Schwarzenegger filling a pothole sparks controversy within the city of Los Angeles. They kept calling for the city to fill this pothole, and they didn't. So he went out and bought some stuff and filled it himself.
What was wrong with that?
Well, here we go. After being hailed a hero for filling a pothole in Brentwood, California community, Arnold Schwarzenegger's good deed has not gone unpunished, with the city claiming he interrupted scheduled maintenance for a service trench.
That's BS. I bet you.
A city spokesperson clarified that the location is not a pothole, but rather a service trench that relates to active permitted work being performed at the location by the SoCal Gas, who expects the work to be completed by the end of May, in a statement given to NBC Los Angeles. First of all, if you dug a hole or trench, why do you not have cones around it and things around it so that people's cars aren't running over it and getting destroyed?
They don't know that if nothing was around it to protect people from hitting it, then why would they know what you guys are planning on doing?
Right.
Let's go around that big hole because I think they're going to clean that one up in 30 days.
So a city spokesperson clarified that the location was not a pothole. Whatever. A city spokesperson later told Fox News the Digital that work began on January 26th to upgrade the pipeline system, where temporary paving was applied. Standard procedure followed that includes permanently paving the area within approximately 30 days. However, the city saw complications due to the extraordinary wet and inclement weather. The expectation is now that they will be finished by the end of the week. They lying. All of a sudden, you're going to be done by the end of the week after he made a big deal about it.
He made them look bad. That's what
a representative for Schwarzenegger believes the city is being careful with their wording.
Yeah.
To imply Arnold prevented their gas line work without directly saying it, because it's simply just not true.
Thank you. So they got to watch how they even say the BS that they're saying.
Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger repped the former California governor.
Yes, he was the governor.
Actually filled in 2 potholes, and only one of them was a service trench. In photos taken by Schwarzenegger and obtained by Fox News Digital, a hazard sign can be seen in the middle of the road, blocking off significant portion of the street. Now, do we say anything now that they had a sign up?
Oh, he moved the sign?
A second photo shows another pothole, which allegedly was not a service trench. Schwarzenegger's rep says the city has left it out of their statement. So, I don't know.
So it was apparently 2 potholes. One was in the middle of this pipeline planning that they were going to do.
Yeah. He said, I went out with my team and fixed it. The 75-year-old road. I didn't know he was 75.
Wow.
I always say, let's not complain. Let's do something about it. Here you go. So there you go. He filled a little pothole and people are losing their minds about it, I guess. The
The city people, not the people who are driving over that pothole.
Yeah, they don't like it.
Because they had, there was a group in, was it Chicago area?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if this is a Chicago area or what area it was. They actually got the materials and cleaned up potholes themselves.
Right.
In certain neighborhoods.
You have to, because a lot of times they don't do it. Let's see. M. Perk says, hi, ladies. Hi, everyone. Hey, Mike.
Hey.
He says, Arnold took work from city workers and cost them a job. Sort of a joke, sort of not. And then M. Perk said he should have done it secretly and say he knows nothing about it. Well, people was driving by. No, while he was doing it, people was driving by. Saying thank you. Yeah, saying thank you for doing this.
That's how Arnold got found out that he did it.
Yeah.
Mike's right though. Oh, I was going to use that as my overtime for Mother's Day. He didn't took hours from us now. Right. Something else to do. Right.
It's plenty of potholes that they can fix. Trust me.
Thank you.
So just go around the city.
What they gonna do? Sue him?
They worded it different. That's what he's saying. Like, are you trying to sue me or something, or what? Were you wording it like that for? So we'll see. They're not gonna. Who would sue Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Thank you.
Nobody.
For fixing a pothole.
Nobody can sue the Terminator. The Terminator.
I'll be back.
How can you sue the Terminator?
I'll be back.
No. And he's a former governor.
Yeah.
Again, what I said about presidents. You can't just drag a governor into court. Just like you, in my opinion, you shouldn't just be able to drag a former president into court.
If you got something on him.
I know, but what if Obama decides to fill a pothole and somebody don't like it? But you gonna drag him into court?
Yeah, I think he should be able to be dragged into court.
No, not a former president.
What makes him exempt?
I know. That's what we had disagreed.
Yeah,
I know.
Okay.
I go back and forth with that.
They can't be exempt from law.
Let's see. M. Perk says, ex-presidents getting indicted, ex-governors getting blamed for doing city work.
Thank you.
Ex-presidents getting indicted, ex-governors getting blamed for city work.
Yep.
Okay, so here's an update on the Cash App founder Bob Lee's death. A tech worker arrested in the fatal stabbing.
Tech worker? Why would they have an argument?
Police have arrested a self-described tech entrepreneur over the fatal stabbing in San Francisco Cash App founder Bob Lee. The suspect is a 38-year-old Nima Momini, from Emeryville, California. Mr. Lee and Mr. whatever his name is knew each other, the police said. According to LinkedIn profile for this guy, he is a technology consultant and company owner. Police found that Mr. Lee, 43, unconscious with a stab wound on April 4th near San Francisco City Center. Mr. Lee later died in the hospital from his injuries. In a news conference on Thursday, San Francisco Police Department Chief William Scott announced that this dude, Mr. Momini's arrest, and added that the suspect knew Mr. Lee. He did not elaborate on how Mr. Lee and the suspect knew each other. Prosecutors are seeking to hold this Mr. Guy, Memento, without bail. An arraignment hearing has been scheduled for the suspect on Friday. The chief of the police said the case is not closed, despite the arrest, and that an investigation is ongoing into Mr. Lee's death. So we want to know why. It's funny how, maybe you know how we all conspiracy theories.
That's my ideal. Cash App was my ideal.
Well, you know we all conspiracy theories. You know we all remember we said the government. Remember we said the government might have something to do with this.
People had conspiracy theory when Malcolm X was killed.
We still do. Okay, so that was up.
Get your hand out of my pocket.
Thank you. Get your hand out of my pocket. Wendy says Tyree had already been beaten, kicked, tasered for 22 minutes. He was terrified. He was 2 blocks from his mother's house, so he screamed for his mother for help in pain. Excruciating pain. Yeah, he was shot. Yeah, and they tried to sew him up, but his leg up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. 8th grade teacher defends herself after getting fired for giving students zeros for not submitting homework. Do you know that you're not supposed to give zeros anymore? You're supposed to give at least 50%.
You know what?
That's crazy.
Here's the thing with the educators. I feel so sorry for you
They
guys.
changed the rules
A
on
lot
these
of people are not going into education anymore. They're going into different fields because the school systems, first of all, the control over children. You can't touch them. Can't be verbal. You have to be really careful on how you talk to them. Now, the fact is the curriculums are different now.
You can't veer off that much
on your own. If you buy your own supplies, you may even get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
Sorry. We are not going to be giving you any money for those pens you bought. I bought them.
But if you buy pens, don't give a boy a pink if a boy gets a pink pen, why can't he get a pink? Like if you passing them out and you say, I'm giving all the girls the pink pens and all the boys, they'll be like, why can't a boy have a pink pen?
See, in the gender thing, if you mention that you have a gender change, oh my God, the parents will go crazy. When we were watching Abbott Elementary with the father coming in mad because a white teacher was teaching Black history.
A middle school teacher was promptly let go after she was told by school administrators that she failed to follow the school guidelines when it came to grading her students. Diana Tirado, who taught U.S. history at Westgate K-8 school in Port St. Lucie, Florida, was forced to say goodbye to her students after she was fired from her job for not giving the students any credit for their homework. She defended her decision. In an interview with local news, she explained that she had been hired during 2018 summer break to teach 8th grade social studies at a Florida school. She spent 17 years as a teacher with education experience in different grades and classrooms. Only in her first year at Westgate, she said she had been fired for ignoring the school's no zero policy, which is printed in the student and the parent handbook as no zeros. Lowest possible grade is 50%. She was forced to learn about the policy after some of her students didn't complete an assignment that she had given them 2 weeks to do. As a result, the school chose to fire her. Back in the day,
I wonder, can she get her job back?
You getting a zero. No, because that's in their book. They said you can't do that.
When they hired her, at the time that they hired her, maybe they didn't go over that information with her.
But that's her job to read the book, not theirs.
Oh, okay.
So she said goodbye and loves you, wishes, and best in life. I have been fired for refusing to give you a 50% for not handing anything in.
Because that's
and then
not
if
50%.
You don't hand anything in, you getting a zero.
That's not even 50%. You didn't bring anything. You didn't hand nothing in.
Despite facing serious repercussions for not adhering to the school's policy, she defended her actions. She refused to let her students off easy when that's not why they attend school every day. I totally agree with her.
Go on to another school.
Well, are they have one that says no zero policy?
She may have to go to a school that doesn't have that zero policy. I've never heard of that. Y'all, if you guys as parents, is this old school?
That's ridiculous.
Is that old school? Oh, Johnny, is your homework? Did you have your homework? No, Miss Johnson.
Remember back in
you get 50%.
And remember back in the day, we would do first place, second place. Now it's a lot of them.
They all winners.
Everybody gets a medal. Everybody wins. There's
like
no
that.
losers.
I would not be
There's
an
nobody
educator
that's number one.
This would steer me away from being an educator.
Can you put stars on kids
I don't
now?
even know.
Remember you used to get a star? Like they'll put a star on you, you stuck out?
I don't know. I bet you schools are changing so
no stars
drastically now. I really feel bad for educators. I do.
I feel bad for the kids. Because how are these kids going to grow up? These kids are going to grow to be adults.
Social media.
Everybody, I have to say,
I
get to say what I want to say when I want to say it. Back in the day, be quiet, adults are talking. But now, back in the future, they just can say whatever they want to say. It don't matter.
You got kids coming in threatening teachers.
Yeah.
With weapons and with their mouth.
I don't like you.
You're going to be fired. But like I was saying with the app, that's why I love Abbott Elementary. I don't even know if Abbott Elementary is still how schools are now.
It's probably not.
In the impoverished areas. But still, really.
So they probably don't care in those areas, though. The urban areas, you probably do whatever.
I don't know.
They probably still picking them up and putting them in garbage cans and everything in the urban areas.
A few of her episodes is they were trying to make it a charter school.
Oh, that's why.
And parents is like, whoa. Yeah. We're learning what charter schools are. My kid has got put out of one.
Yeah.
So you got to even be at a certain level to even be in a charter school.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
Nope.
So this is just a pickup on Dan Crenshaw. That's the guy with the one eye, that congressman that everybody, He's boycotting Bud Light. Like all the rest of the people.
Okay.
Remember we said the conservatives?
So you're gonna drink another beer though.
But
right?
here's the thing. So he decided that he wanted to go on air and show that he was boycotting Bud Light. He threw away all his Bud Light. And he filled the refrigerator with another beer.
His parents' companies.
Bud Light owns that beer too. You are the biggest dummy. A lot of these people don't realize that these companies own a lot. Or they have business dealings with the company you're boycotting.
They're the umbrella of a lot of businesses that's underneath. And we don't even know.
Or they may not be the business, but they own a considerable amount of stock or something in another business
where they can make decisions
that you're doing, and they still pretty much own that company too.
So he knows this now?
Well, he was embarrassed. People brought it out to him on attention to him.
Just so you know, Mr. What's his name, Crenshaw?
It says Representative Dan Crenshaw, Representative Texas, learned how beer monopolies work this week, when in an attempt to join the growing chorus of conservatives vowing to boycott Bud Light over the beer brand's partnership with a transgender influencer, Dylan McCovney, which I still don't understand. He posted a video showing the contents of his refrigerator, only to reveal that it was packed with another beer owned by Bud's parent company, Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah, knucklehead. Do your research. Here's another thing that scares me, and everybody can probably agree or whatever. If we have our representatives that's representing us in our different locations of where we live, if he don't do his homework just this situation, how is he representing me when he's out there on the floor in Congress?
Thank you.
He's not even doing a phone call. Oh, they own it too? Oh, okay, I was going to boycott them, but I found out that they're not. Oh my God, you are so stupid.
Thank you.
These are our representatives. They're representing us. They're so stupid.
Yep.
Okay.
So he went ahead and said, guess what? Guess what I'm doing? We're going to throw away out every single Bud Light and we're getting their fridge. At that point, Crenshaw opened up his refrigerator. However, there were no cans of Bud Light inside. All right, he said. Well, I guess that was easy. Related, the governor of beer's conservatives vowed to boycott Bud Light over partnership with trans activists. Not so fast, an Instagram commentator quickly pointed out. Crenshaw's refrigerator was stocked with Karbach, a brand that Anheuser-Busch acquired in November of 2016.
Do your homework before you start being...
And again, I'm still trying
I'm going to boycott.
Right.
Oh, they own it too. Oh, okay.
And again, I'm still trying to understand the boycott. You boycotting them because they doing commercials with a transgender. I'm still trying to understand.
Because the product is promoting transgender with the whole face on the can. I told you that.
Okay. Right.
Some people have a problem with that.
All right.
Yeah.
And Mike says the teacher should have gotten half her pay for not doing her job.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Like I said, I feel sorry for.
Oh, do I actually get a chance to talk about Jeremy Renner? I bumped this story like 3 times. Disturbing animation shows how Jeremy Renner fell into the path of a 14,000-pound snowplow that crushed his body. Now, you heard about this, right? A new animation
was on The View too.
Was detailed the moment actor Jeremy Renner was crushed by his 14,000-pound snowplow near his Lake Tahoe home on New Year's Day. First of all, he thought that here's a picture of it. He thought that his nephew was getting ready to get ran over by it because he was in the middle of it.
Right.
And it was kind of out of control, this machine. So he thought he was jumping to save his nephew.
Right.
He tried to jump in. See, this is how they doing all of this to pull the truck. See, they showing the animation. And then his nephew was walking away and his back was turned to the machine. And the machine was going towards his nephew. So he jumped up on it. You see how he jumped up on it here, not realizing this thing is moving.
Yeah.
He didn't get a chance to even get inside the door before, look, it rolled him underneath the thing.
Was he in snow?
He was in snow.
Woo.
I think that saved him.
He was on the ground.
Yeah, I think that snow helped him.
It would have crushed him.
And it rolled over him. He said he felt his ankles crack. He felt his legs crack each time as it rolled over. His back, his arms, everything. He said even his face, when it went over his head, his eye popped out of his head. He said his eyeball was looking at the other eye.
Ooh.
It was hanging out like this, and it was looking at the other eye.
So it was still in place.
It was still in place.
The nerves were still able to see.
Everything was still there.
Ooh, that's scary.
So he knows that that's a miracle.
Yes, it is.
He's alive,
He
Mom.
was on The View. Remember?
He's alive.
That actor that was on The View. They had that big old
look at him.
That accident.
He survived it,
He
Mom.
survived it.
And he plays a superhero.
Yes, he plays a superhero.
He's one of the Avengers.
Yes, it was.
And so every place that he goes, they say, you the real superhero.
Yes, you are. Yeah, because they just play it.
And they asked him, would he do it again? And he said yes, because he thought he was saving.
Yeah, he was saving his.
But then they came to find out his nephew would have got out of the way, and he had time to get out of the way.
Oh.
So he risked his life. Ain't that something?
That's snow, though. I bet if he wasn't.
Thank God he had that
He
snow.
had a little bit of room to go down in the snow. Because the thing still crushed him, but it probably would have smashed his whole body.
Oh, yeah.
Had he been on a surface part there was no snow.
Mike said he is going to pass a bill breaking up beer corporations. I'm sure he is, because he was embarrassed, the other guy, the representative.
Oh, yeah.
He probably don't like beer monopolies because of that, because he got embarrassed. Wendy says, no, Kim, Tyree Nichols. Oh, yeah. Was the one that got beaten by the 4 cops. Remember?
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
What about it, though?
That's what she was talking about.
Right, I know
Tyree
that.
had already been beaten and kicked and tased for 22. About him running. When you were saying about not running, I don't think she was talking about Tyree. Wendy. She's talking about generally when people run.
No. I'm just saying still.
But Tyree was running because they had already beaten him up.
I know, and that's, you never know.
Yeah. But Wendy says, but it didn't damage any of his organs. Yeah, we going back and forth, y'all. I know.
Lord.
All right, so yeah, she talking about Tyree. Tyree running was different. They was already beating him up and tasing him. He was running to save and get away.
So
and that's right. And he was near his house, and he was running to try to get home.
Right.
To get somebody to help him.
But he didn't run fast enough.
Well, they got him. They had already beaten him up and stuff.
Yeah.
So
they were after him.
Well, they was going to kill him anyway, whether he ran or not.
Well, no. No, they wasn't.
They was beating him. I watched the video. They was beating him and they was stomping him. And had he not gotten up and ran, they probably would have killed him anyway.
They probably would have. But the motive wasn't to kill him.
Oh, we don't know that. How we know that?
Well, the fact that they beat him still was bad. I'm just saying that it was not.
I don't know that. I don't know that. I don't know that their motive was not.
Oh, I don't know. I think
until
that
I
they
see that
beat
trial
him up because of that whole situation.
I don't know.
So we.
I know if I'm stomping
because he passed away 3 days later, right?
I know if I'm stomping you and I'm doing all of that. If I'm on the jury, I don't know what their motive is. Bring me the trial. Let me hear the details.
And what can get them off as far as the manslaughter and the other murder charges is that the intent was not to kill.
Well, you got to show me that.
The intent was to beat you down because you did this, and this.
Well, the prosecutor...
Oh, man, you died 3 days later?
Actually, you're right. It's the prosecutor has to show that the motive was to
bring that murder charge to a number one.
Right.
Okay.
Which you can easily do by saying
if you got
to have that many people on you, stomping you and kicking you, then the motive is not to hurt you because they know... And as police officers, they know that if you want to hurt somebody, you could do it another way other than that.
Right.
So they probably would say, the prosecutor, I don't know, he would have to bring the case, is that it was to brutally
and I'm sure when these little police shows that I watch, I'm sure they're getting these cases from real cases that actually happen. Because there are, like you're saying, a good defense lawyer, a good prosecutor,
right.
But they work with the law, and the law can get people off for just doing something. You're like, whoa,
right. And then the other thing going by with the running, where I agree and disagree with what you were saying. If you know you can get away, I would run too. If I know I can get away,
how can you get away from a gunshot?
No, I'm saying. You have to look at that's what I'm saying. You got to look at the whole situation.
I know.
If you're in the car and they haven't stopped yet and they still driving up, a lot of people got to run. They never catch them.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not, you just sit there. No, I'm out of here. You want to chase me? You got to jump over some fences and everything. But if you right, if they out already and you're not going to outrun a bullet. And you're right. They not supposed to shoot, but we've been seeing where they do a whole lot of stuff they ain't supposed to do.
I know.
But on the other token, how many people don't run like George Floyd and all these other cases, and then they end up still killing them? So you almost do better running, I guess.
I don't think so.
Yeah, whatever. Let me see. Wendy says, but the one that got run over by the snowplow, I didn't hurt any of his organs, which was good. It just broke all the bones and stuff. They've been doing it a lot of times about shooting. Yep. All right. So thank God, Jeremy Renner, true Avenger.
Yes.
Can you imagine what pain he was in?
He was taking probably every medicine you could think
and
of.
And that big 14,000-pound machine, and then it rolls slow. So you know it's rolling over. It's like flattening you out. Okay. I finally got to the Jeremy Renner. We won't get to this.
How fragile is our bodies?
We won't get to that. We didn't put them in the thing, did we? I didn't say nothing about Jim Jones, did I? I could talk about that tomorrow.
We said JayZ.
Oh, I did say JayZ.
Yeah, let's say it.
Jim Jones doubles down on the claim that Drake is greatest rapper ever over JayZ. So this is a quick one. Jim Jones, Jim Jones, is Jim Jones wrong?
What is he saying now?
That Drake is better than JayZ.
As what?
The number one rapper of all times. Everybody puts JayZ at least in the top three. It's always Biggie or Tupac, Biggie, JayZ.
Uh-huh.
You know, and then, but Jim Jones is saying people hating, they not putting Drake up there. Drake he's done his time. He should be up there. He's been around long enough to where this generation, I don't even think this generation would even say JayZ, would they?
I don't.
They would say
so.
Drake.
Yeah, because JayZ right now is considered a businessman.
But to me, this is the same argument we have over basketball. Is Michael Jordan the greatest basketball player of all time? We're gonna always say yes. Mm-hmm. But this generation's not saying that. They saying LeBron James and
each generation
Steph Curry.
Say what's at their time.
So I think we need to just stop saying who's the greatest rapper or who's the greatest basketball player.
Ali is the greatest boxer of all time.
See, and in this generation, he's not.
It don't matter about the generation.
Exactly.
This is the people who broke the mold, who made who made it happen.
Right.
In that whole field of what it is.
To me, I feel like if you're gonna say somebody's the greatest, it should be. You wouldn't be like they put the people that you talking about on the map. They put the people who you talking about on the map. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I think that's a good debate though, because honestly, JayZ would be, if you looking at the whole picture of JayZ, mm-hmm. the same way with Michael Jordan. The whole package. It's not about how many points he made and what records that he broke, mm-hmm. because they've broken all his records. It's about the whole thing of him being the captain of his team, mm-hmm. being able to ring in Dennis Rodman, mm-hmm. who nobody could, mm-hmm. being able to work with his coach and also call plays while he's out there himself. You know also too, the movie Air, the whole thing with the shoe.
Can y'all name one athlete?
Yeah,
one athlete where a shoe is built around them.
Well, you can name it now, but he started it. He started it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But you said before he even became the great player.
No, I'm saying
that shoot came out first, kind of.
Right, but I'm saying right now,
first, the chicken or the egg.
But right now, when people say who's the greatest basketball player of all time, we say Michael Jordan, but this generation doesn't say Michael Jordan. They say LeBron James, Steph Curry. Even some even say Kobe Bryant. They don't say.
But Michael Jordan was before them.
I said we say that because we was in that generation.
No, I'm saying
the generation before us might say that it was Magic Johnson or
no, because that was around the same time. Think about it.
He was before Michael Jordan.
No, I'm saying as far as the greatest of all, Magic is not the greatest of all times.
Right.
Go back, because that was what, in the 70s, in the 80s.
What are you talking about?
If you even go back further, like Bill Russell days, or whatever.
Well, some people would say that, and some people would say,
but he's not the greatest. It's almost like, even if you were to go back in history, even in the historically, in my opinion, this is my opinion. Let's say basketball started in the 1900s, whatever. Up until then, Michael Jordan's name is like, whoa. The needle kind of stayed there.
Okay, so
even with other generations coming up, people had to go back to that needle of Michael Jordan.
Right.
Michael Jordan. And if you go everywhere around the world, we were in Europe, Chicago, Michael Jordan. Oh, okay. Obama. And Whitney, Oprah Winfrey was the three names that we heard everywhere we went. Where was it? We were in Africa. We were in.
So my thing is, I feel like
Michael Jordan.
My thing is, I feel like these lists don't matter. I feel like whatever it is, who you think is the greatest of all time, you just need to be able to stand on it when people come at you and say somebody else's name. So, like, if somebody says, "No, I don't think LeBron is the greatest of all," even though I love LeBron, I still say Michael Jordan. I say under Michael Jordan is LeBron. But to me, I'm standing on it because, like you said, I'm saying all these things that Michael Jordan did. LeBron wouldn't be LeBron if it wasn't for Michael Jordan.
Exactly.
There wouldn't be a shoe. All these athletes who have shoes have because of Michael Jordan.
That's why I think that.
So that's what I'm saying. But you got to stand
look at historically. A lot of these athletes, even today, and their styles that they have, and who did they look at when they were kids, like watching TV?
But like that's what somebody would say.
Age-wise, you think,
so that's why people who don't like Michael Jackson, when you say Michael Jackson, no, James Brown, because James Brown was better than Michael. See, I'm standing on Michael Jackson, and then I'm coming to the table to defend why I feel it's Michael Jackson. Just like people who are Prince, they come to the table with they stale.
I wonder what happened on that our one of our mayors?
Because y'all know I argue with Prince and Michael Jackson.
What happened? Did you? I wish.
Oh, you're right.
Did he win?
I don't know.
One of the mayors in our area. We do a radio show every Sunday where they have
Was it Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson versus Prince,
and our mayor guy. Our mayor was for Prince.
But then you have to call in. I'm for Prince. I'm for Prince.
And here's my thing.
For Michael Jackson.
And I'm fine with you being for Prince. But be ready to come up against me because I'm going to annihilate you when it talks about Michael Jackson versus Prince.
Okay.
Get rid of their number one album of all time. Both of them.
Both sides.
And this, when I usually say this, Prince people go humana. Thank you. Get rid of Prince's number one album of all time.
Yes.
Which is Purple Rain.
Purple Rain.
Get rid of Michael Jackson's number one album
what is it, Thriller?
Of all time.
Or is it Beat It?
Thriller.
Thriller, okay.
Now let's talk.
Oh,
humana.
Michael Jackson.
All right, so let's everybody relax.
I wonder who won that debate on that Sunday, because I'm gonna probably text somebody and say,
how could he?
Who got more calls than did our mayor in our area get more calls in for Prince? Because I'm like, I'm not calling in.
And then we all know that every song is gonna sound the same. Dun, 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 dun.
With the guitar.
I know y'all love Prince. I love Prince. I gave y'all stories about me going to his concert.
Yes.
And I lost my voice because I was screaming and I sung every single song.
He's an awesome artist. Awesome.
But he's not better than Michael Jackson. Now just stop this.
No.
Michael Jackson's the greatest of all time.
Michael Jackson's
music. All right, now let's go with this.
Michael Jackson's music can take me on a road trip from California to New York.
Yes.
And I would hear different sounds, different styles, different, a love song, a fast beat, a duets.
Right.
Prince, I would get tired after the first 4 hours.
So with this whole thing with Jim Jones doubling down that Drake is the greatest rapper, he's an idiot. In my opinion, because I think Drake is
I
up
would
there.
Never know what to say with the whole rapper thing because I'm old school.
But who do you know?
Well, I know Drake too.
But do you know Drake?
I don't think I can name a JayZ song. Hold on.
Nobody can. No, people from New York can.
Okay.
You can. It's a hard knock life for us.
You would have to help me.
And
you would have to help me.
I got 99 problems, but a B ain't one. Hit me.
You would have to help me.
Yeah, we could do
as an old schooler.
And then the ones with him and Beyonce. And then there's before that. Okay, let's stop this for a second. Hold on.
Okay.
There would not be a Kanye West if there was not a JayZ.
Right.
Okay. Jim Jones I would have listened to him and I would have debated with him if he said Lil Wayne. Oh. If he would have said, I think Lil Wayne and JayZ can go at each other. I think Lil Wayne, because there would not be a Nicki Minaj if it was not for Lil Wayne. Okay. There wouldn't be a Drake if it wasn't for Lil Wayne. Those are both his artists. Okay. At least we'll have the argument then. Because then I could say Lil Wayne not getting his props the way he should. Oh, okay. But Drake is not up there. He's not. You got to look at the whole picture. The
whole package.
You got to look at their influence on other people. Yep. You got to look at who has Drake mentored.
That's why
who are billionaires. Kanye West was a billionaire under a billionaire.
So going back to what you said earlier, whenever you say the word greatest,
you got to say the greatest.
Greatest is a big word, and it encompasses everything. It encompasses who they've influenced.
Right. I don't even think Drake would even say that. Drake would go, "What are you talking about?"
JayZ? No, man, nah. He'll back away.
Like when JayZ said Beyonce was greater than Michael Jackson. No. Beyonce, what are you talking about? Dude. She said no.
You was just saying that because Mother's Day.
Well, that was his wife. But even Beyonce said, "What are you talking about?"
Michael Jackson? No.
I wouldn't even be. I dance like him.
Oh my God.
So what are you talking about?
Well, that's why I was saying when we were doing the sports thing, I mentioned Muhammad Ali. Even though there's other greater fighters, Muhammad Ali
the whole picture.
The test of time.
But it's the whole picture. It's his activism.
Everything.
It's during the time when he was coming up, changing the game, even the way that he boxed, even making it a show.
Very influential.
Making
the rope-a-dope.
Even making people even watch boxing.
Yes.
He blew up the whole thing.
They got a new movie coming out with Foreman.
Oh, okay.
We gotta go watch that.
So you gotta look at the whole.
Okay, got it.
So Jim Jones, he was a high when he said that.
He probably was.
Drake is not better than JayZ.
So greatest. He doubled down though.
He doubled down.
Okay, he had to rethink that one.
He doubled down.
Probably got a lot of
It says Jim Jones has doubled down on his recent claim that Drake is the greatest rapper, even over JayZ. Mm-hmm. I can't even pull this. Okay. And he doesn't care how anyone feels about it. The Dipset capo made his remarks on the Rap Caviar podcast on Thursday, April 6th, where he was asked to clarify earlier remarks where he crowned Drizzy the GOAT over Hove. I mean, why not? Jones asked. Drake is the only one that gets played any place on this earth, and they're gonna know it in English. If you're not putting Drake in the top 2 of all time, like, what are we doing? We're gonna keep putting shade on his name? He has broke every single statistic, period. You heard? I agree. I believe that I would definitely agree that Drake, to be honest with you, I put Drake over Biggie. That's my personal opinion, not over Pac, because I feel like Tupac had the whole picture, movies, everything. I'm gonna go up.
That's
movies and everything.
He's asking a good question.
Is the most popular the same as the greatest? No. That's why we were saying it's the overall picture. Drake is the most popular.
I beg to differ, and this is why I said that's a good question. For me, if it's kind of like Michael Jackson, if everybody and their mama has heard of you, you are great.
Okay.
If everybody and their mother, their grandma.
All right, let's test. Hey, Ma. Yeah. Do you know who Biggie is? Biggie's. Okay, she know. Do you know who Tupac is? Yeah. You know who Drake is?
No. My mom said no. JayZ?
You know JayZ?
Yeah. My mom said yes.
I probably do know Drake, but I can't.
That has a part to do with being greatest.
80-year-old woman.
JayZ? Oh, yeah, that's Beyonce's husband. He sings rap too.
Then again, no. Watch this.
Okay.
No.
Let's see.
Do you know who Vanilla Ice is?
No.
Oh, okay. She don't know. Let's think of somebody still. Do you know MC Hammer?
Yeah.
See, she know MC Hammer. So that doesn't.
But that has something to do with being the greatest. You know Michael Jordan, don't you?
Yeah. Well, she knows.
She said, no, the way she said it. She said, yeah.
Do you know LeBron James?
Yeah.
Okay, she knows LeBron James.
Okay.
Do you know Steph Curry?
No.
She don't know Steph Curry. But she knows LeBron James. Mm-hmm. And she knows Kobe Bryant.
But everybody knows Michael Jordan. Everybody.
Yeah.
So that is a good question. If they're well known, that makes them great as well.
Who do you think is better, Mom? Michael Jackson or Prince?
Michael Jackson.
Of course. Okay. I would roll her out of here if she said
It'd be she in a senior abuse.
My mother in a walker wheelchair. If she would have said Prince, I would have got up from this chair.
Rolled her out of here.
What'd you say? All over the world. Prince is too, though.
Michael Jackson is no more.
Yeah. All right.
Well, she feels he's no more.
So Jim Jones.
Go ahead. I'm glad he back.
I don't like that. Okay. I think the conversation would have been better had he. Ma, do you know who Lil Wayne is?
Yeah.
See, she know Lil Wayne.
She know T.I., I think.
She don't know Drake, but she know Lil Wayne. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, his conversation would have been better if he would have said Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Because they know Lil Wayne.
Or Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, she knows Snoop Dogg. All right, let's go back up, y'all. Okay, y'all have a lot of. I got to go all the way up.
Okay.
But the one, Wendy says one of the cops beat a prisoner so hard that he knocked his head into the sink and broke the sink. Wow. That's going back to the cop thing.
Oh, abuse.
I think that Lenora is right about the snow helping him. That's about, what's his name?
Oh, yes. Oh.
That thing rolling over him.
Oh, Lord.
Wendy says maintaining his family is another skill. That is a great, you must be talking about Michael Jordan or somebody. Because his family is, well, not his wife, but he got divorced, but his kids are good. Wife. His kids didn't mess up. You haven't heard nothing bad about his kids.
No.
Wendy says that is great, like you said, the whole picture.
Yeah.
JayZ.
The whole package.
Wendy says Joe Louis. You must be talking about boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Mike says, M. Perk says, my mom says I am the greatest of all time, but don't tell my siblings. All right,
you know what? A parent would have a favorite, and I think the kids know who the favorite is. We know who her favorite is.
See what she's saying.
She ain't gonna say it.
Go ahead,
Mama, who's your favorite? As far as your kids, who's your favorite?
I don't have a favorite.
Yeah, whatever.
She don't have a favorite.
I'm like my mother.
Yeah, whatever. Wendy says Prince and Michael Jackson said James Brown was someone they both copied. Yep. Mm-hmm. Wendy says Mama say, Mama Kusa. All right. M. Perk says MJ is pop for the masses and performer. Prince was a musical genius and musician, songwriter, and performer. Mm-hmm. Did Prince write Purple Rain, the movie? Yes, he did. Mm-hmm. Wendy says, but you got to remove Purple Rain.
Remember, if you remove that album,
you got to remove the movie.
What other Prince songs you gonna put on the table?
And then somebody would come back and say, well, Janet Jackson came up under Prince. That's where she got her whole thing from.
Yeah.
Well, that's because she didn't want to be like her brother, Mike.
Yeah.
Wendy says no typing tomorrow. Oh yeah, tomorrow Lenora send out the link to everybody that if you want to be on the show and you've been on here already, make sure that y'all email us at Woods Creation for You and send us your email address. Mm-hmm. M Perk says, is the most popular the same as the greatest?
We said that.
Mm-hmm. Wendy says Ali 56 wins. Joe Louis 68 wins. But that's what we said, the whole picture.
But going back to
we said the whole picture.
Not even so much the whole picture. Going back to what M. Perk said. Mm-hmm. Popular
is not the same.
Most
as
people
the
not gonna say Joe Louis.
Right.
They gonna say Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, and then like we said, it's the whole picture.
He's more famous.
And Joe Louis did come out in a
broke
time,
some records. Yeah,
and he also did come out during a time where Black people he broke down a lot of walls,
like Jackie Robinson.
So that's like Jackie Robinson.
And some people were even concerned with the Jackie Robinson, which went into a whole different arena. the black ball players back then.
The Negro League.
The Negro League was just as hot as he was.
Yeah.
But he crossed over into a whole nother arena.
Yeah.
And some people were not happy about that because they figured his numbers is not as big as some of the Negro players that were playing.
Wendy says, I hope you read this later. You missed a lot. That's what we just did.
Okay.
Wendy says, Prince played 27 instruments and Michael was an instrument.
Thank you.
So that's good.
That's a big one.
And I never said Michael Jackson was better than Prince as a better musician.
No, he's not.
So we never would argue that.
Stay in your lane. You're
All right, we're a little over, but I'll give you the donkey of the day.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Charlemagne the God's donkey of the day. Former SNL star Victoria Jackson adds her rant to the anti-LGBTQ sentiment in Tennessee. More than 30 years ago, Victoria Jackson performed a handstand on Saturday Night Live to praise the freedom to express myself any way I like in America. Now she's among the Tennessee residents speaking out against the LGBTQ community and its efforts to celebrate Pride this year. Jackson, who was part of the SNL cast from 1986 to 1992, appeared at a city council meeting where the Pride Festival was on the docket. They want to have a Pride Festival in her area. Mm-hmm. She was among the scores of residents who appeared to make the case for or against Pride during this meeting. The strip mall comedian took to the stand and condemned homosexuality, citing various excerpts from the Bible, drawing from her understanding of Scripture. Jackson also claimed that God hates pride. For the LGBTQ community, Pride is an annual celebration of identity. After citing
different kind of pride
that's described in the Bible. Mm. After citing various scriptures, Jackson said she did not want this generation to be brainwashed. Before she could finish plugging an anti-LGBTQ YouTube channel, council members thanked her for her remarks, slammed the gavel down, and a security guard bent the microphone away from her. She kept talking. She kept saying God hates homosexuality. Yeah. She said God hates gay people. She said God hates
you said that word hate.
Fornication. God hates adultery. God hates everything she said was God hates.
Sin.
He hates.
Gosh.
So did she say God hates overeating because she's 18,000 pounds bigger?
He hates gluttony too.
He hates gluttony too. He hates lying. He hates all of it. But it's by grace.
Are you saved?
Are we saved,
Mama?
Lest any man shall boast.
With that ugly bow in her hair.
Because then anybody would say, I don't like that sin.
I work towards getting.
And this reminds me in the Bible where Jesus was walking past where they used to burn garbage back in his day, and they would throw everything in there. It would be dead animals, everything would be in there, and it stunk. Mm-hmm. It was the worst place to walk past. Mm. And as he was walking past, he gave the analogy of, can you tell what's in there? Like, can you tell that was this or that was your soup?
Smell is so
is that
bad,
your
you
soup
really
from yesterday? Or is that a dog, a dead dog over there? Or is that what is that over there? Mm. And he gave the analogy of it's all garbage. Mm. It's all disgusting. Yes. It's all nasty. Yes. It's all sin. That's how God sees it. Yes. And had I not left this earth and gave my body as a living sacrifice, you would be looked at as garbage.
Yeah. Thank you.
The only reason why the earth ain't open up and swallow you into it is if you are Christian or whatever, it's the covering of the blood of Jesus.
Thank you for the blood that covers. Because our righteousness, like I said yesterday,
is that filthy rags.
Filthy rags. And filthy rags is women's menstrual and all of that. Just messy and
he
nasty,
doesn't break
stinky.
It up and go, well, that's that, or that's a can over there, or that's this. It's all garbage.
And that light is shining on everything all at once.
So to get your point across, let's go with your point. And I'm fine with you don't like homosexuality. That's how you feel. You feel the Bible is against it or whatever. Yeah. You won't get your point across by getting on the stand saying God hates. God hates. God hates. God hates. God hates. God hates. No one's going to listen to you. And that's exactly what they did. They shut you down. They moved the microphone and got your ugly self up out of there.
Mama laughing.
So that's all I'm saying. Christians, y'all need to take some PR classes.
Yes, yes.
Because you have a horrible way of pitching who God is and
like
who,
those two guys.
anybody.
Remember those two guys when we were going to the Taste of Chicago, and they were on the corner and they had God hates sin. God, and then he
was brutal.
I walked up to him and I said, "Well, isn't God love?" No, he went totally opposite. And when I said, "Isn't God love though? Are you not talking about the love of God? He hates sin. And he was naming all the sins.
And if you don't get saved, and then you go,
his heart wasn't right. Y'all.
So you don't know.
I felt that.
So you don't know she not saved. So you don't know. You just assuming.
Yeah.
So you don't have no Holy Ghost or nothing. You just out here with a sign and a bullhorn.
God hates sin. God hates. God hates. I'm like, wow. Why would anyone want to go to God?
Thank you.
If you hate so much, they figure my life ain't together. You're gonna hate everything about me. That's the love from God that says my son died for that.
Yep.
You don't have to fix yourself up and clean yourself up. I died for that.
Exactly.
Hallelujah.
So she's the donkey of the day.
Okay. Big donkey. Literally.
Yeah.
She's a big donkey.
So they gave her donkey of the day. So got her out of there.
And there's an NSL star. On the NSL.
I remember her.
And that's fine. That's what you did in the past. You're a new created person in Christ. That's good. Now you preaching God's word.
Wendy says, now it depends on their age, what they say. Lenora asked my grandmother. She'll say Joe Louis. Respect, 100%.
My mom said Muhammad Ali.
It depends on the age, I guess.
I don't even know. It depends on who's popular.
Would grandma, if she was alive, would she say Joe Louis? See, I don't know.
She wouldn't. She would say Muhammad Ali, wouldn't she?
Joe Louis. See, my mama said grandma would say Joe Louis.
That's a good question because
we don't know.
Because think about this. Even in their older age, if social media, if radio, if magazines is reminding them of Muhammad Ali more so, they're going to say what they've been seeing on magazines and stuff. And Joe Louis is not talked about as much as Muhammad Ali is.
Wendy says, worship him in spirit and truth. That's true. And that's for people that's already believers. Mm-hmm. We talking about ministry. We talking about you ministering to people who are not worshiping him.
Yeah.
So if you worshiping him already, you should already know who he is.
Yeah, thank you.
So you are going to worship him in spirit and in truth.
I hope you do.
But when you trying to talk to somebody who don't even know what you're talking about.
God hates this. God hates this.
You can't start your sentence off talking about what God hates.
He hates that. He hates those glasses that you
have. And obviously.
You're not trusting him.
And here's the thing.
He said, by your stripes, I'm healed.
Right.
So why are you wearing glasses?
Right.
To help you see?
Thank you. Why you wearing contacts? I thought by your stripes you was healed.
But I can't see. Okay, it ain't manifested yet, Lord. I still need
Why you got a cold?
I still need these glasses.
Why you got cancer? I thought you was healed already. I thought he healed you 2,000 years ago.
I was just watching.
See, that's what I'm saying. People, just shut up. Yeah. Work out your own salvation. Yeah. And quit worrying about what everybody else is doing.
That's funny, though, that you said that.
Wendy said that's right. Just, everybody's so worried about what everybody else is doing.
But what they were all talking about, that would be the first time that they're doing this in Tennessee, right?
In her spot, in her city. They want to have a gay pride parade. So whatever.
Okay.
All right, y'all. So that was it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Always believe. And that was another Woods Report. Don't forget tomorrow's show is going to be Friends. I'm sure Wendy will be there.
The friends of the Woods Report.
Wendy says, if you have not love, you are but a clanging cymbal. Yep. You have to have love. Love.
And she sounded like a clanging cymbal at the thing for them to pull the mic from her. Mm-hmm. So she was it was bothering their ears. Like, would you just shut up? Because you're not getting led. Says
Jack Johnson fought a lot of things.
Oh yeah, Jack Johnson. I remember that name.
Is that a thing? Mm-hmm. You know who he is?
Hold on. I think it's Jack Johnson.
You know who that is?
Mm-hmm. Thinking wasn't he the athlete, the boxer?
All right, y'all. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Always
I think he was a fighter.
Oh, okay.
He was before Joe Louis.
Oh, yeah.
I think he was before Joe Louis.
All right. Then we'll just keep
1938 at 60.
And if we keep doing this, we'll go all the way back to Adam and Eve.
He lost 7 and You know.
I mean, we could just keep going.
Who's the greatest? Abraham? Moses? David?
Yeah, he was better than him.
Yeah, David was better.
Well,
David was strong.
Adam was better than Moses. We got to keep going back.
Oh, Lord, who's the greatest?
Then go before that.
Jesus is the greatest.
Then go before that. Who's better than Adam? Well, before the earth was born, I mean, the Bible says that
the angels.
The angels.
No, because we'll be ruling angels. I don't know.
See, it's too much.
That's why Jesus said, who's the greatest? It's the one that's the humblest one, not the prideful one.
Who should I say told Moses? Who should I say told me to come? I am. That's your voice. Why can't his voice be, I am that I am?
That don't sound powerful and authoritative. If y'all wouldn't serve a God that talk like that.
All right.
Come on. I am that I am.
I am that I am.
I am that I am.
But you know how powerful that is for you to talk like that and still be powerful?
I know.
Who should I say sent you? Tell him it's I am that I am.
I am that I am.
See, why he gotta be I am that I am? Why can't he just be like, just say I am that I am?
Because it was for movie purposes. That's why. That burning bush is talking with so much authority. You had to show you that's
and I know we sign it off. Mm-hmm. And everybody's talking about all these other things, and most people don't even follow the 10 Commandments.
I know. And that's basic.
Oh
well.
All right. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Always believe. Mm-hmm. And that was
another. You signing off again?
Y'all still typing.
It's in the number of opinion.
Wendy said, this world is crazy. What about the person who takes you to get an abortion, getting arrested? That's true. Now it's against the law to take somebody.
Even in the state where it's okay?
No, because if I take you to rob a bank and it's against... No, in the state it's okay. It's fine.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But it's against the law. If you take me to do something
doctors even get in trouble.
Wendy said, see ya. Have a beautiful weekend, Mom. Wendy said, have a beautiful weekend, Mom. Mm-hmm. She said, thank you. Love you. Wendy says it's all a matter of opinion. I just Googled who was the most feared fighter, and it said Sonny Liston. Oh, yeah, Sonny Liston. All right, y'all. Don't
Remember Spinks, Leon Spinks with no teeth?
Yeah, he passed away.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, always believe. And that was another Woods Report. See y'all later.